All right, so continuing on from the last video, we're going to cover the last few sections in this assignment. So this video is going to start with bonus number 4, which covers formulas. What formulas allow us to do is we can basically assign mathematical formulas to different parameters that we've created within the project. If you've ever used Microsoft Excel and you know how you can set up a formula for the different cells to make them do different things if a certain value is entered within those cells, like maybe if the value is like over 20, the cell will turn a green color, or if it's less than 20, it'll turn a red color, something like that. We can basically do the same thing within Revit and tie them to our different parameters that we made and control different parts of the model that way. So the first thing that we're going to do is basically do a very simple demonstration. So go up here to family types, and then let's just set the width value to be depth times 2. So I'm going to redo that here, depth, and then asterisk 2. Make sure that you have entered that exactly as it's listed here. It has to be exactly the same. So the capitals and everything. Then click apply. And then basically if we go down here to depth and we change that value to like 4 feet, it's going to update this width now to 8 feet, like that. So let's set that back to like 2 feet. Okay, so that's our first example. And you don't have to do the other example that they do with the height. Like, it's fine as it is. The next one that we're going to do is going to control the actual array of the shelves that we put in there. So what we're going to want to do is click OK to close out of this, and then we're going to have to add in a couple of new parameters. So let's create a couple of reference planes. First one we're going to put in here, and we're going to align it with the top edge of our shelves. So I'm going to drag it to the right and then make it there. And then I'm going to do another one aligned with the bottom of the shelves. So, or the bottom shelves. So next what we have to do is actually align the shelves to this. So I'm going to click on my model group right here and click the align tool, and then let's click on our reference plane and then click on the top edge of our shelf and then align that, and then click off of it and then do the exact same thing again but on the other side. So align that there and it should be locked. Then we're going to click escape and we're going to do the same thing for the top shelves. So click on our reference plane, click on the top edge of the first side and lock it, and then click the reference plane again, click the top edge of the other side and then lock it. Now what we need to do is add in a couple new dimensions. So we'll go here to annotate and then click aligned. Then we're going to click this top reference plane and then the one that we just made, drag it off to the right, and then we're going to click on the actual dimension and create a new label. So this parameter is going to be called top shelf offset, and we're going to, let's see, we're going to make that an instance parameter. And then down here, we're going to add in another one. We're going to go dimension from this reference plane down to the reference plane that's even with the reference level. And then we're going to lock that right there. And then we're going to click escape, and then we're going to select that dimension. And we are going to create a new label. We'll make it an instance, and we're going to call this one bottom shelf height. Just like that. Then we're going to click on OK. All right. Next thing that we're going to do is open up our family types box again. And we are going to create a new parameter down here. This one is going to be called array check. And we're going to go down here to where it says type of parameter, and we're going to call this integer, and we're going to set it to be an instance. All right, that's going to appear in our list down here under other. Next, what we have to do is type in a formula. So here we're going to put if number of shelves is less than 2, comma 2, comma number of shelves, and parenthesis. Then let's go ahead and just click apply. If you did it correctly, you shouldn't get an error. Okay, and this should become grayed out. So this parameter that we've just put in here with this formula, what this is doing basically is it's going to prevent somebody from coming in and inputting a bad value that's going to break things. So if someone were to put a value that's less than 2 for number of shelves, basically what Revit would do is it wouldn't understand what to do with that value, and it would spit out an error. But by putting in this little parameter with this formula, it's going to take any value that's less than 2 that somebody would put in there, and it's going to round that up to 2 automatically. So it's not quite done yet though. We next have to click apply and then click OK. Then we have to go in here on both of our arrays that we've set up and select them. So I'm going to click on one of these shelves. Not like that. I want to get to this little number of shelves thing here and click on that. Once we have that selected, we want to switch this now to array check. So array check 4 there on that side. Do the same on this side. Click on one of them, go to number of shelves, and then switch that to array check. And now if we go back to family types and we try to change this value now to something less than 2, it should automatically round this number 1 up to 2. Okay, and as you can see, it left 2 of them in there, and it didn't let me change that to be a value of 1, and I didn't get any errors, so it's working correctly. And then if we switch it back to what it was, like 4, it works correctly. So that's what that formula does. The next one that we're going to do is one that's going to sort of adjust our shelf heights and stuff. So what we want to do is we want to go back to our family types editor, and then we want to go to the number of shelves parameter, and we want to put in a formula here that says round up height minus bottom shelf height minus top shelf offset divided by 1 foot 6 inches. Just like that. Then let's click apply. Whoops, I have a spelling error. Let's make that say offset. Click apply. And there we go. So now basically we aren't controlling the we're not controlling this anymore through just a number. It's actually using this formula value that we've put in here, and it's mathematically putting in the correct number of shelves for us. based on the bottom shelf height dimension and also the top shelf offset dimension. All right, and we'll just click apply, and then we will click OK. And if you want to read a little bit more about exactly what this is doing, on page 39 they give a full detailed explanation of exactly what is going on with this formula. All right, so now we're going to move on to bonus number 5, which is global parameters, and this is the last section in this assignment. So the first thing that we need to do within our shelving unit family, go up to the family types, and then let's clear out this depth times 2 parameter or formula that we put in, and then click apply to make sure that that's gone. Then just go ahead and click load into project and load it into the sandbox file. And then on this screen, just click overwrite the existing version, and that will preserve our materials that we put on there. After we've done that, what we're going to want to do is click on the shelving unit and then go over here in the properties palette and then go to where it says width, and we're going to click this little button here that says associate global parameter. After you click on that, we're going to create a new parameter, new global parameter, and we're going to call this parameter shelf width. Then we can just click on OK and then OK again. Next, let's go to the level 1 floor plan, and we're going to make an array of this. So we're going to click on the shelving unit, then we're going to go up here to the array button, and we're going to just click on one of these points here and then drag to the right. It doesn't matter how far, and then click again to make your array. After we've done that, oh wait, I'm sorry, back it up for a second. Let's do that again. Array, and then make sure where it says move to right here, that's set to second. All right, don't set it to last, make sure it's set to second, or else it's not going to work right. So click on the endpoint, drag to the right, click again to make a second one, and then what we need to do is create a dimension between the two of them. So we're going to go up to annotate and then aligned, and then we're going to click on the midpoint of this one and then the midpoint of this one, drag down to finish placing that dimension. Then we're going to click escape once or twice, and then we're going to click on the dimension. Then we're going to add a parameter to this dimension, very similar to what we did within the actual family. So we're going to go up here to create parameter, and this is where we establish a global parameter. So this parameter is going to be named distance between units. And then we're just going to click OK. After we've done that, we're going to go up here to the Manage tab, and then we're going to go to Global Parameters. And now you'll be able to see those two different parameters that we just set up. So to finish this off, what we have to do is go to distance between units where it says the formula, and we have to type in shelf width to make the two of them the exact same. Now when we click apply, watch what's going to happen in the background. So that's going to bring the two of them flush together. And then what I can do is if I adjust this shelf width dimension to maybe like 6 feet or something, it's going to automatically update the distance between the units as well, and it's going to keep them flush together. So this becomes useful when you have to do something like creating aisles. So, you know, you can imagine that we're in like a department store or something, and we have these shelving units set up, and we have to make a bunch of aisles between them. So now that we have that global parameter set up, it makes it really easy because we can just click on one of these and update the number of them. So let's say like 5. And it's just going to tack 3 more onto the end, and now we sort of have like a little row of shelving units. It's going to be easier if I do this in a floor plan, but if I grab all this, not including the column, and then I can just move it to where I want. But you can see now basically we have an aisle, and I can, you know, copy this again. And there's our aisle. And if I want this one to be longer, I can just find my array and I can make it longer. I'll make that one longer. You get the idea, but that's why they're pretty cool, because if you use a global parameter, you can kind of tie all these instances together and make them work together, so that way you're not manually having to go in and actually like size these and then place them where you want them to go. So yeah, that's when you would want to use a global parameter. All right, so that should be everything that is within this step-by-step instruction packet. So that's going to do it for this assignment. There's probably going to be a second part of this assignment that I'm going to give you all next week, where I'm actually going to have you build your own custom family. It's not going to be quite this in-depth as what we went through here, but there are going to be some requirements for that based on what we did here. So stay tuned for that. But then you're also going to want to make sure that you have this one completed based on what we did within this exercise, because you're going to be submitting this as well. All right, so basically what I want for this portion of the assignment is what you're seeing here. I want everything up through the global parameter section that we just did, and I want you to basically replicate exactly what you're seeing on my screen, where I have the array set up with all the shelving units flush, and you can just put them in the same spot as I did. Just do like a few of them in an array and save this file. So we're going to go to here and then we're going to save it, and we're also going to, just for the sake of my grading, as I've done in the past, let's add in some model text with our name on it. So I'm in my 3D view here at the top, and I'm going to go to architecture model text. I'm going to put my name, and then I'm going to attach my name to the floor right here in front of my shelving units, just like that. Okay. And then you can go ahead and save this file, save as, and save the project. And then just make it like shelving unit and then your last name. And that will be fine. And then this is what you will be turning in. Just turn in the Revit project file, because it already has the family in it, and I can check the family through the project file. So just turn in the project file, and then that should be good for this portion of the assignment. Then, like I said, there's probably going to be another small portion of the assignment later on next week. But that should do it for this video. If you have any questions on how to get through all these steps, if you run into any problems, don't hesitate to reach out and ask me.